Hello everybody. I took the back off of this and I was thinking this would look good with kind of like the little four I did. You know, maybe a cow and a pig and a rooster. But I didn't think about the stencils not fitting down in there good. I might could trim a little off, and that's probably what I'll do. But I'm gonna have the beige background, and then I'm gonna paint this black, and then I'll do the frame in that white color also. Well, the paper bubbled up that the pictures are on and got all wavy, so I'm cutting around the edge with a razor and peeling it off, and then I'm gonna try painting that part. Okay, now I'm going to take this brush that's flat on the bottom, and I'm going to do the black part around here. I'd put 2 coats on there of that. I wasn't even thinking that I'm going to do that in black, but anywho. So I'll just better put my reading glasses on where I don't mess up. On the edges, like where it's coming toward the rectangle. Oh, without it heavy on here, I'll go at an angle. And it gives a pretty neat line that way. And I'm going to do the whole thing and I'll be back. Okay, something I did find out. You know, you're going at an angle. But when you go back at an angle this way, if you bump into that side, it'll mess it up. So I'll have to go back over that with the white, and then I'll probably get some on this, so then I'll go back over it with the black. Just wanted to share that where you won't do it. Okay, I got it painted, and I got my stencils all chopped up, trimming them to fit, and fixing the stencil. And one thing about not having much of an edge, I don't have much room to not goof up, you know, pounding my stencil brush. But I want you to look at how thick these stencils are. I don't know if you can tell, but they are super thick. And it's the Jamie Ray Vintage. You can go to her website, Jamie Ray Vintage, and get the stencil brush and the stencils. And this is the paint I used for the, well, it says white, but it looks eggshell, I guess you call it. And then this is the paint I was used to using, and I just had to get the other because I couldn't find this now. I guess they're shut down because of the virus. But this one's a lot thicker, but sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not. Okay, and I gotta be sure and try to center this rooster and make sure it's straight, because I tried to cut these straight, but I failed. So, okay, I got my paint on here, and I'm offloading a good bit of it. And yeah, I gotta be careful around the edges now, since I cut them smaller. But I didn't know if it'd work if I bowed them down into it, so. And probably a good idea to tape the sides down. You know, I'm not going to worry about doing it as heavy as I did in my other video, because I ended up sanding it and wanted it to look old looking. So I don't think it's necessary. I might be wrong, but I guess I can go back and touch up if I get off of the stencil down here. I don't know how I'm going to do that. What I might do, and might regret, Since this don't have bristles, I don't have to worry about bristles going off the edge. This was the one I used on the frame, or well, the cardboard. Oh, I hope I didn't smear it just then. And one thing I noticed doing the cardboard, I did have to go back and touch up and then go back over it with the black. Just you have a little paint on your brush when you go over the edge there. And if you don't have enough paint, don't press down because it's a sponge and it'll, you know. Okay, let's see if I smeared it. That looks pretty good. I think that'll be a lot easier to distress, since I didn't glob the paint on like last time. I just kept going over it and over it and over it with layers, and it was kind of hard to distress. So I'll do these two and I'll be back. Okay, I got them all painted on there, and now I'm gonna let them dry and then I'll distress them a little bit. Okay, I've torn a tiny little piece of my rough sandpaper. I'm gonna try it. Oh, that's too rough. Okay. I'm blowing the paint off sandpaper because I'm hoping that'll help keep it off of the white background. Okay, and I got a dry rag, and hopefully I can get it off the white part. Oh yeah. And that looks pretty good. I might need to do a little more. I can tell better how it looks by looking up there in the little thing. I don't know what you call it. Rough it up a little bit right there some more. And I probably need to do the edges. Well, let's try. I'm kind of feared. I'm afraid it's going to get ground into my white. It did a little bit. Not bad. So, I'm going to avoid the edges. So I'll do the other two. And I'll put it together and clean the glass. And I'll wet distress the frame. I might show you that part. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to wet distress the frame because the frame was black. So I think that'll look good. If I used sandpaper, I'm afraid I'd get down to the wood. Just got that much. That's not too hard to distress this Kills chalk paint. And I'm going to go over the whole thing just to smooth out some of the roughness of the paint. And I'll give the corners a little extra attention. And I'll be doing this all over, and then I'll be back. Okay, I got it finished. And I wanted to show you, that is the matte spray I put on the frame. And It has a little bit, it's pretty matte looking. But there's another one that's a little more matte looking. And I must have took the other one out to the shop. It's Krylon matte clear finish. And it's a little more matte looking than this one. But it could be because it seems to go on lighter than this one. I don't know. But I think it turned out cute. Anyway, thanks for watching, and be sure and hit that like button. And I'll see you later. Bye, y'all.